Hello everyone, how are you? Are you all able to hear me? Whoever is able to hear me, kindly respond. Boya, are you able to hear me? Okay, let's start. I'm going to take you through the mammalian circulatory system. And before I do that, I would like to take a roll call. Joshua Changamwa can see you are in. Duncan Boya can also see you are in. Mercy Chepnetichu is also in. Valentine Chepchumba is also in. And Obuya Kalistas is also in. Thank you all for coming, and let's start. I believe you are all able to see my screen. Is my screen visible from your side? Thank you for confirming. Now, our today's objective, you as the learner, by the end of this lesson, you are supposed to be able to describe the mammalian circulatory system. Objective number 2 is to describe the composition of mammalian blood. Then lastly, you should be able to discuss the functions of the blood cells. So here we define the mammalian circulatory system as a system that contains the heart and the blood vessels and through which the blood moves. The mammalian circulatory system is also called the cardiovascular system, as you can see from the screen. Let's check the general functions of the circulatory system. The function number 1 is transport. Circulatory system transport food and oxygen to all cells. They also transport waste and CO2 from the cells to the organs where they can be excreted out of the body. Mammalian circulatory system also transport hormones and other chemicals. Function number 2 is protection. The circulatory system protects the body by clotting and inflammation, which prevent excess fluid loss and also limit the spread of infection. Circulating cells and chemicals actively seek out and remove pathogens from the body. This is done by the white blood cells. The third function is homeostasis. Circulatory system maintains fluid and electrolyte balance in tissue and cells. It also maintains acid and base balances in the tissue and cells. It also helps to regulate temperature by transfer of excess heat from core to skin for removal. So let's look at the components of the circulatory system. Circulatory system is made up of the heart, the blood, and the blood vessels. Let's look at the structure of the heart. Heart is a muscular organ that pumps blood through blood vessels, and the figure below shows the structure of the heart. The heart has four chambers, that is the left atrium and the right atrium, which is the upper chamber, then the right ventricle and the left ventricle, which compose the lower chamber. Heart also has the vena cava, which receives blood from the entire body into the right side of the heart. It also has the aorta, which takes blood away from the heart. It is also made up of the pulmonary artery, which takes blood away from the heart to the lungs. Let's look at the chambers of the heart. Heart has four chambers. These four chambers are divided into two. We have the atria and the ventricles. Atria are the upper two chambers, and they have the following characteristics. They are they have thin walls. They are collection chambers in that they receive blood from the entire body and also from the lungs. Let's look at the the ventricles, which are the lower chambers. The ventricles have the following characteristics. They are larger and thicker and stronger. They pump blood out of the heart. The left ventricle is much larger and thicker than the right ventricle, and that is because it pumps blood to the rest of the body. Let's have a look at the vessels that are attached to the heart. We have two arteries, that is the aorta and the pulmonary artery. Aorta is connected to the left ventricle, while pulmonary artery is from the right ventricle. We also have two veins. These veins bring blood back to the heart. The first vein is the vena cava, which is the main vein. It has the superior and the inferior vena cava. We also have pulmonary vein, which is the only vein which carries oxygenated blood. We have two types of circulation. That we have the pulmonary circulation, and this moves blood between the heart and the lungs. That means they transport the oxygenated blood. And we also have systemic circulation, which moves blood between the heart and the rest of the body. This blood is merely oxygenated. Let's have a look at the blood. Mammalian blood is composed of the plasma and the three cells, which are the red blood cells, white blood cells, and the platelets. The first one is the plasma. Plasma is the largest part of the blood. Plasma is light yellow in color, and its main function is to transport nutrient, hormones, and proteins to the parts of the body that need it. The second one is the red blood cells, also called the erythrocytes. The red blood cells are microscopic and have the shape of a flat disc or donut, which is round with an indentation in the center, but it isn't hollow. Red blood cells don't have a nucleus like white blood cells, allowing them to change shape and move throughout the body easily. The function of the red blood cells is to transport oxygen from the lungs to the body tissues. Let's look at the white blood cells, which are also called the leukocytes. They lack hemoglobin, they have nucleus and is capable of motility. They function to defend the body against infections and diseases. Then lastly is the platelets. Platelets are irregular in shape. They have no nucleus and typically measure only 2 to 3 micrometers in diameter. Platelets are not true cells, but they instead are classified as cell segments produced by megakaryocytes. Because they lack a nucleus, they do not contain nuclear DNA. They function majorly in blood clotting. As we wind up, I would like to leave you with an assignment which will be collected the next time we meet. It will be submitted through my email, which I will give you later. The assignment is discuss you should discuss the adaptations of the mammalian heart to its functions. Thank you for listening and thank you for your time.